Hey guys, Darryl Russell here. I'm here in Chiang Mai, Thailand for the Chiang Mai SEO conference, and I decided to kidnap some of the speakers and some of the attendees, drag them back to my apartment here and interview them just for you guys to get some exclusive content. So let's get straight into it. Enjoy. Hey guys, Darryl Russell here. Welcome back to another episode of The Lion SEO Show. I'm joined today by Mr. Diggy, and we're talking about getting started, building up your business, and general sort of mindset traits. See, between us, we've coached thousands of people on how to start their businesses and how to scale their businesses, and we were able to sit down and discuss. Like, I know this may seem kind of boring to some people, but frankly I think it's more important than a strategy. Everyone thinks they need like, oh, a strategy, what's the email template to use to go out there and get clients? I believe actually the biggest mistake people make isn't like the strategy, it's usually just they don't have the mindset in place to actually do it. I give out the email template to thousands of people, and guess how many of them actually go out there and actually send the emails? Very few. So we want to talk about the differences in someone that actually like joins a program or gets the email template and looks at it as, oh, this is kind of cool, then just quits like a week later and does nothing. Versus the guys that go out there, and the guys we meet at this conference, that go out there and getting some massive results, take massive action, ultimately change their lifestyles. So that's what we're breaking down, what we believe our differences are between those types of people, what sort of traits you should be aiming to create in yourself, and really how you can go out there and get started and start building up your business. So hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Let's get straight into it. Diggy, thanks for joining me, man. It's awesome to catch up again and hang out again and talk some business.
Good to be here.
So for anyone that hasn't seen our previous interview, do you want to like introduce yourself, what it is you do, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so I'm Diggy. And I've got two products online about like making money online. So one is how to start an agency, which is Marketing Inc. And the other one is more like how to build an email marketing business with affiliate marketing and paid traffic. So the two different aspects, I guess.
Sure. That's what you're known for, but also you're not like some like make money guru that's like created some products that's like you sit in your mom's basement. Like you actually have like legit businesses as well. Like, oh no, that's not legit, but you know.
Yeah, of course. So I've done this for like almost 10 years now. I started in 2008, and I went through the whole process of, you know, like trying to figure it out. Started with blogging, did affiliate marketing, SEO, client stuff, like literally everything. And just because my own journey took me so long, like I got into the info product to be able to just share with people what I'd learned. Yeah. To help them like shortcut the learning curve, and mostly for my own friends and family, because people are always asking, you know, like, oh, what are you doing? How do you do it? And like, instead of explaining it over and over and over again, you know, you make a series of videos and you're like, okay, here's the training.
Do you notice the same thing I notice though when I give training to a friend or a family member or something, and they don't do it. Like I give them all this training.
They don't do anything, right? It's with the majority of people, even people who buy the course. Yeah. You know, there'll be probably 90 to 95% of the people might not even go through the entire thing and just, you know, put it on the shelf. And
the sad reality of this business.
Right, and that's why we're talking today. See if we can inspire some people and see if we can get them taking action with what they already know, right?
Is there any differences you notice in how someone thinks that actually does take action, actually does try to train out, versus the guys that just like look at a video like, yeah, that's cool, then
yeah, you can see it immediately. I mean, a lot of the time, and the action part is where the difference is. And also, but like staying motivated is the big thing also. It's very easy to be like enthusiastic about something. Like you buy a new product, you start, you do something for the first week or first 3 weeks, but then you stop, and then like it just you know, completely dives.
Yeah, actually I agree. Actually, I think that's probably it's not that they don't do anything, is that they start sometimes maybe focusing on one thing, and then like a week later, like the motivation is gone. It's like the $1,000 is like, I spent $1,000 on courses. Yes, I'm gonna do this shit, and then like
the consistency it's gone, right? And that's what makes it difficult. That's why most people don't succeed, because they don't have that consistency. Like anyone who's successful, you could ask them, they've struggled for like years, you know, and been doing the same stuff, and like people's overnight success usually takes, you know, 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, like you've been doing 10 years, right? Like along the way also you've worked in you had struggles, you've lost businesses, you worked in a supermarket for a while, like how do you stay motivated through that shit? Sorry to remind you again.
No, I mean, so I only ever had one job for like a month, which was working in a supermarket, and I hated it. And the first day I wanted to quit, and I quit after 30 days, and I never had a job after that again. It was pretty bad. And I guess I always ask this to people also, you know, like if you're successful and you're an entrepreneur and stuff, do you think it's something you're born with or not? Right.
Yeah.
And I find like a lot of people who do have the motivation to keep going for stuff, they do have this like inherent kind of resistance to authority and like people telling you what to do and that kind of thing. So I guess I also had that, like I really don't want someone telling me like you have to be here at 8 a.m. and if you're not, you know, you're gonna get fired and that, like.
I'm actually exactly the same. I never had a real job at all, and I hate being told what to do. I don't know why. I don't know if that's something though that entrepreneurs will have, or just like a bunch of us just happen to have it. I don't know if it's like required that like you just like fuck authority to actually be successful, or that's just.
Yeah, I don't know actually, but I think it's definitely something where even if you don't have that, it's just you get to a point where you're so sick of your current situation.
It's true, yeah.
You know, and for different people it takes longer. I mean, you might be so sick of having debt or not being able to do the things you want, or, you know, being there, like if you have kids and like you can't go watch their football game or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, now I'm gonna go and do something. And like the pain of staying in your current situation is bigger than actually just going out and taking action.
I think a lot of people have to get to that point to really, like you said, like to really actually bother to take the action. I think that's the big, was that your driving point? Were you like so sick of shit that you're just like, I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was sick of like not having money. I mean, that's why you'll see like a lot of people who are really successful, they were actually broke or homeless or anything like that. They had that pain point, right? So they came from there and they got so sick of that they just like, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess for me, like my life wasn't exactly that bad, but like I was living with my parents and stuff, and I hated it. Like my hometown is like all people like factory jobs. People were like, oh, you make 30 grand a year. Like that guy's made it. He's successful. It's like 30 grand a year. Like yeah, it's not much money, really. Not really.
Right.
And I just wanted to like get out, and I made some money before that and traveled a little bit. I was like I don't want to stay here. Like I want to get away. That was like it was kind of painful, like in some way.
It's about the freedom, right? That's actually all that it's about, and it really doesn't matter. Like there was that study, I think it says $75,000 a year is like your happiness level or something.
Yeah.
I personally think it's closer to like 150,000, you know. But
depends where you live, I guess, and the costs.
Right, but if you're at a certain point, it doesn't really matter how much more you make. Like if you have the freedom to live anywhere, to pay for your bills, pay for someone else and your kids and maybe your parents or whatever, I think that's enough. And that's I guess why a lot of us start like with the online stuff.
Yeah, so you're definitely hitting over 75 and 150,000 a year, a lot more, right? So how do you, like, you're pretty happy with how your lifestyle's going, right?
Right.
So how do you stay motivated today? Because you don't have that pain anymore. You're not like fuck that shit, this all sucks. Like I want to build my business. Like I need to get away from here. Like how do you stay motivated now?
Well, I kind of still have that, to be honest. And I mean, it's about surrounding yourself with people who are doing better than you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I try and do it. And when, like even now we're here in Chiang Mai for this conference, like I try and go to conferences, like I buy masterminds from people making more than me. And then it's like that competitive thing also, you know, like it doesn't really matter because like, you know, if I would make an extra, whatever, 7 figures this year, it's not going to change how I'm living right now, right?
Yeah,
it wouldn't matter. But it's like the money is the measure of success that you're doing. And then you're seeing other people who are doing so much better. So you're like, okay, how can I get my business to that level? I guess it's like same with like athletes. You know, if someone else is doing better than them, they run faster, or like whatever. You want to do better, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people watching thinking like 7 figures wouldn't change much, but when you get to a certain level, right, it's lifestyle. You hit your lifestyle goals.
Well,
like
it really does not change much more. So if you can pay for like all your life stuff and you're living nicely, like sure, you can go and buy a more expensive car, more expensive watch, you can fly first class, whatever.
Yeah.
But that stuff doesn't make you happier. Like, you know.
We've tried it.
Right.
So for the guys that just start out, a lot of them are going to hear like the numbers we're talking about and stuff. Even like some people like 150K a year, like for us as well, like that was a big number when you're starting out. So I'm curious for those guys just starting out from scratch now, maybe they're in that pain point now where it's like, screw this sucks, like I want to change something. What do you do? Like if you lost like that question people was asking, if you somehow lost all your money, but you still had your skills, your knowledge, but you didn't have your team and all that stuff, and maybe you just had, I don't know, $200 to your name, what would you go out there and do?
Yeah, so that's...
Put you on the spot.
no, that's good. To be honest, I think the easiest way to get started is what we teach is with client marketing. Okay,
Yeah.
like if you're really in a desperate situation, like you can take action and you can make money, right? If you know, you just you have to help other people make money, right? So that's the easiest way to get paid. So if you can make someone's life easier, solve a problem for them, help them make more money, they're gonna pay you, right? So with the client stuff, is if you can go out there and you can help local businesses, you can easily help them with basic stuff, even like, you know, like is your website SSL secure? You know, is it mobile optimized, etc.
Yeah.
So if you go out there and you just find directories of businesses, you get on the phone and you start calling like 100 businesses a day, you know, it sounds like a lot, but it takes a few hours, right? And if you want to make money, that's what it takes. You're willing to go and take those steps.
You gotta get to the point where that pain is greater than the fear of doing those calls.
Right. So how, like, do you want to be homeless and have no money, or do you want to? Are you going to pick up the phone and, like, you know, start calling?
Yeah.
Right. And initially, it's going to suck, but the more you do it, like, the more you'll have answers for people. Like, you'll get the same questions over and over. So the guy's going to say, "But do you have previous examples, or do you have any referrals, or like, why are you so expensive?" Like the first few times, you might be like, and look like an idiot, right?
I've done it, yeah.
Right. But as you do that more and more, you, first of all, you're not going to be as affected by it. You're not going to take it personally anymore. So you're not going to be like, oh, you know. And then secondly, you're actually going to have an answer. You're going to be able to tell them, like, you know, I have this example, or I've worked with these clients, or I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do for you. Like, you walk them through it, right? Like what you always say. So yeah.
So you just pick up the phone, you just call people? Yeah,
if I was starting from scratch and I needed to make money, I'd start with the client stuff, and I'd get that up to, I think you can get that up to $10,000 per month in profit. I'm not talking about revenue, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to get to about probably $25,000 a month in revenue to have 10K profit, and then use that money as seed capital, as like a cash flow business, to build something that's not reliant on clients. So whether that's my own products or services, and maybe even e-commerce, something like that, and then build up a business like that that can run without the client stuff.
Okay. So you love clients for like the cash flow, but it's not like something you personally, not that there's anything wrong with it, but you personally don't want to scale that model.
Personally, I like my freedom, which is why I started the business, right? And I like it to be more something that I can control. For example, with running with paid traffic and having the products and services, you can have a team doing customer support. I know with the agency stuff, if you build it out, you can build out a team and you can have like customer support people and things like that. But ultimately, you're still responsible, and you might still have to get on the phone with clients and things like that.
Yeah.
So as a long-term thing, I wouldn't want that for myself.
It's like a more people-oriented business.
Right. It depends on what you are. Maybe you like talking to people, and then it's a cool thing to do, right?
So I'm going to put you on the spot again then. So you're going to start out with getting clients. You're going to call them up, or just strangers out of, what, Yellow Pages or something?
Yeah, so I'd probably go for the States.
Okay.
Because I think there's more money there. Like, we're in Thailand now. I wouldn't be able to sell like SEO to like Thai businesses, right? So I'd just find probably like a medium-sized city in the States. So I would avoid the big ones. I wouldn't go for like LA or like maybe or a suburb in one of those cities, right? And just start calling people. And I have an idea, kind of a list of, you know, the average customer value would be like $1,000 a month to that business.
Sure.
So like we always talk about, you're not going to go after like hairdressers or things like that.
So they're going to make $1,000 at least, like at a minimum.
Right, from a client. Because if you want to charge someone like $2,000 a month, they're going to have to be able to get an ROI on that. And the easiest if they can make that from just a few leads, because then they're going to keep paying you, right?
Yep.
And then just phone people and try and help as much as I can, right?
Yeah.
The more value you give, even if you're getting on the phone and say, I'll give you a consultation for free, you know, I'll do this stuff, or, you know, do it at a discounted rate. If you want to get started and you want to make money, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Would
you pick like a specific niche or something?
To be honest, I couldn't think of one on the spot right now. You could probably get away with, I don't know, maybe plumbers, dentists, something like that.
Tons, yeah.
Kind of standard chiropractors.
But you'd focus on one, right?
Yeah, I'd focus on one. But actually, maybe if I was starting out and I really needed the money, I would just phone businesses. It wouldn't matter too much.
Just get the money.
Right. That's the thing. Like, when you're starting out, you kind of have to. I know we focus on like you have to choose a niche and you have to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But the main thing is you want to get yourself in a position where you have like the power to say no to people, and you can only do that once you have enough money to pay for yourself and to pay for your business stuff, right?
Absolutely. So let's say you're a little bit further along. Let's say that you built this up now, you've got the agency running, and maybe you've put together, I don't know, a couple $100,000 of cash in the bank. You got the agency that's kind of running. What would you put that money into?
Yeah, so we talked about that. So if you have nothing and you have money in the bank, or what?
Let's say, like,
Or you have an existing business.
let's say you got it up to $200,000, and the agency for some reason just shut down. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
The government just like, screw you, like shutting down your
Right.
agency.
So
you
you
have
have
cash,
some money.
but then you have no business now. What do you do with the money?
Okay, so knowing what I know, what I'd
Yeah,
start
yeah,
with.
no one's like wiped your memory or anything.
I'd honestly go the product way. So
Okay.
I'm a big fan of info products.
Yeah,
I think
likewise.
it's one of the easiest ways. I mean, there's such a huge shift that's happening now where like traditional colleges and universities are just being seen as a scam, right? Because it's
Basically is.
literally costing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
You get a piece of paper that doesn't mean anything, doesn't guarantee you a job. I mean, look at
Yep.
all the like graduates working in Starbucks, right? And there's people who are like $200,000-300,000 in debt. You know, they've studied for 10 years. It's going to take them another 10 years to make that money back and just be at zero, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of interest in people learning online. So you can just go online and you find a course about something and you can learn more than the average person. And sure, you don't get a piece of paper or a degree or anything, but I mean, the skills are what's important. And you'll
Yeah.
see a lot of people are just hiring based on skills, not on
I
degrees
don't
anymore.
look at degrees or anything. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's a huge market for people to create information products, and you can just take your knowledge, turn that into a product, a digital product. We do it, you know.
Yeah.
You do it with Lion Zeal, I do it with my products, and you can sell that. And so if you build out, say, a range of products, even just one product, but you have upsells and you have your different levels where people
You
can
get
learn
there
from you.
slowly and add more and more, yeah.
And then you can build out an automated funnel and run paid traffic, so you can literally just get your product in front of the right people without having to spend months and months building up an initial audience. Okay, so you shortcut that
Yeah.
by just paying for it. And you know, if you have money, if you have $100,000 or $200,000, I mean, you can build a product and a website and everything. If you're doing it fancy, it's going to cost you 10, 15 grand
Yeah.
to get it all done. You outsource the copywriting, the website design, all that, and the rest would just go into ad spend. And if you're doing it right, you know, you tweak it over time, and then you'll get to a point where you're spending X and you're making X plus one. Or even if you're just spending X and making it back, you're building up an audience and a list in the process.
That is actually a really good nugget. So let's like step back a little bit on that stuff. Like you starting out, like how would you decide like what niche to go into, or what product to create or anything like that? Because I think a lot of people get stuck there.
Yeah, I'd honestly say, so it has to be a combination of two things. It's got to be something that you're interested in,
Yep.
because otherwise you're gonna, like, I don't care what people say, like, oh, you just have to choose the money and following your passion is whatever, right? But you have to be interested in it, because otherwise it's like that thing we talked about. You're gonna be interested for like 3 weeks and then you're gonna stop because you don't
Sure,
care
yeah.
about it. So it's got to be something, like for me, I enjoy teaching people what I've learned because it was a big part of my life, right? It was part of
Yeah.
the journey. And it's got to be something where the market is there, where the demand is there. So it's got to be an evergreen niche, whether that's finance, maybe health, relationships. Those are the big three. So ideally, a sub-niche within one of those niches would be good to go for, you know. So if you choose, for example, health, it can be anything like nutrition, it can be weight loss, it can be, you know, gaining muscle, that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
if you have expertise in one of those fields, you know, build an info product in there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like health, wealth, relationships, like anything in those, people will spend a lot of money on.
Right.
So, and it's like you said, evergreen. I think people can skip past that. So I have the issue, like I create like SEO training, and 6 months time it's irrelevant. I have to redo the whole thing over and over
Right.
again, which we create into recurring products. That's okay, but to have like a core product, I think you're right. Like it's evergreen is so much easier.
Right, because you create it once and you can sell it for 5 or 10 years or maybe longer.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Whereas if you create something like Facebook ads training or YouTube training, which changes like every 2 months or
Yeah.
something, you have a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so what would you create? Like you've created like courses, you've created like ebooks and stuff. Like
I did in the past, but these days ebooks don't really sell that well anymore.
so, what would you do?
I think digital membership areas. So you get like a login, right, and you have access to a members area, and you have different videos. I think bite-sized videos are the best. So 5 to 10 minute videos.
Yeah, I agree.
And just the A to Z kind of process. And I think one thing that I haven't done, which I'm going to be changing now with my own products, is to turn it into like an 8 to 10 week training program.
Gotcha, okay.
So instead of just being like, here's 60 videos, you know, like some people want that and they'll figure it out.
Have fun.
Right, but you break it up into sections like week 1, this is what you need to do. You give them an instruction, week 2, week 3. And that's like a proper course, you know, like if you go to college, you have classes and you're like, this week we're going to do this week, etc., right?
Yeah, it's a curriculum almost, like a school, So you're going to have like a 6-week or a 4-week program, and it's going to show you X, Y, Z results. So like how to go out there and get better at dating, how to improve your relationship, how to improve your health, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then every week you just build on it, right? So for example, if you're saying how to get better at maybe talking to people, you'd like have a few things, like maybe in the first week you can like address your appearance or whatever.
Yeah.
And week number 2, you can talk about like public speaking. And week number 3, like go out and talk to 10 people a day kind of thing. And you can turn that into a product and sell that. Yeah,
I agree completely. That's really awesome. How do you, like you create this product, and I don't want to get into technical crap because it's not that fun. But it's just not like just pay someone to do it. You got 200 grand in cash. Like you go to that. So we'll skip the technical stuff. How do you price this? Like how do you know what to go out there and price it at?
Well, pricing is really something you have to test. I mean, it depends on the niche also, you know. So if you're talking about maybe a dating product, that can be anywhere between like $50 and maybe $400 or $500.
I'd say, roughly.
But they have upsells also, you know, where they have like in-person, whatever, boot camps and stuff for a few $1,000s. So that's also possible. But purely digital products, I'd say anywhere from probably $97 all the way up to $2,000, depending on how intensive it is. So if it's like a small, you know, 5 video product, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, if you're just teaching a specific thing. And
I mean, the shorter the better if you can get them the result, right?
Right. So if it's just a small product teaching you how to do one thing, for example, how to build a 1-page affiliate site, you know, you create that, you can sell that for $47. You see it all the time, like on JVZoo and ClickBank and things like that. Or if you want to create like a massive training, like what you have with Immersion, Marketing Inc., and that kind of stuff, like, you know, it's a really intense 8-week course, yet you can sell for $997, even $2,000, right?
I'm curious on your, exactly. I'm curious on your input, because like when I created Agency Immersion, I think when you created Marketing Inc., like it took fucking forever. Like it's like 2-3 months to create this course. Would you go that route of just like sitting down for like 2-3 months and creating the videos, creating presentations, recording the videos, paying someone to edit them and whatnot? Or would you just like kind of drip it out and just like, I'm going to create week 1 now, I'm going to sell it, and then I'll create week 2, 3, 4 after?
Yeah, so that's what I talked about also, creating the 8-week program, right? So I recently did this when I launched 6-Figure Inc. also. I spent 3 months. You can create a whole product with sales funnel, everything, 3 months. But it's like, it's stressful. It's so much work, right? But if you create it as an 8-week course, you plan everything out, so you know exactly what you need to create, but you only create the first week or the first 2 weeks if you want to give yourself a bit of breathing room. And then you launch it. So instead of taking 3 months, you can get it done in a month. And then as the weeks go on, you just create the rest of the content. So that's what I learned also.
I think that's like good, like even like for guys going out there and doing SEO or anything else, like figure out like how to do the first little bit, and then just go get the clients.
Execution is the biggest thing, like the speed to get things done, you know. And I feel like I'm pretty slow with launching stuff still, and the quicker you can get stuff out there, and it's also a win, right? Because you get tired. Like if you're not like stubborn like us, and you would sit there for 3 months creating it.
It's slow. Actually, it's one thing, like we were talking about the mindset stuff before, like when you're at like this mastermind, we're in Chiang Mai right now, and when we're at like the mastermind, you're meeting all those people, like these guys take massive action fast. Like they'll give feedback out and take feedback and just go do it. And it's not like some people, like usually guys that are just starting out, they're not so fast. They're like, they take an idea, it's like, that's interesting, they'll think about it for 3 months. Is that I know, like if I gave you an idea now that you know you can make money from, like it'd be done within like a week or 2.
Yeah, you have to take action, especially like talking about conferences. Like you come here, you're like all excited, you have all these notes and all these ideas. If you don't go and implement that within the next few days, it's going to be like a to-do list that gets put like, you know, somewhere, and you're going to look back in a year like, oh yeah, I should have done that. But
exactly. I was talking about like at the mastermind, is like I had a few ideas last time that added basically 6 figures a year to my business. And they were just 2 really, really simple ideas. Like it's nothing. They could have said it in like 1 sentence, both of them. They didn't really mean that much, but they meant a lot because I actually just took it and just went and did it.
Right.
And that's where all the results come from. Same with the
That's
courses.
that's the difference. What you were talking about, like what separates people. Well, the people, pretty much everyone knows what they need to do, right? Like
Yeah.
even what we're just talking about, like people know right now what to do.
Yeah.
But the difference between the people that are going to succeed are the people who are actually going to take action. You know, maybe even start calling businesses now after watching the video.
I wish actually someone would do that. They just like pause the video and be like, you know, let's not watch this shit. Let's go do something.
Yeah, pick up the phone and start calling.
Yeah.
And get a client by the end of the video.
That'd be awesome. So what would you, like, you've got your product created, you've got the pricing sort of sorted, and you're not going to create the whole product because you just want to take some action ultimately. What would you, like, you're going to put some of that money towards getting the product created, the 200 grand.
Yeah.
And I guess the rest of it's going to go like the funnel and pay traffic, right?
Right.
So
I think that's just the quickest way to grow it, right? So you can do it organically, but it's going to take you years probably to build a sizable audience.
yeah,
Yeah. So if you just pay for it, I mean, you can
you can
like,
$10,000 tomorrow if you know how to, like you wouldn't because you can't scale that fast really.
Right.
But if you wanted to, you could throw the money into the ads.
right, and you can start building up your social profile and your audience in the meantime, which
Yeah.
is important. So it's not just about making money right off the bat. It's also about, okay, when you're running the ads, you're going to get people following you on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you have an asset which you can leverage in future. So once you have the audience, all you need to do is create another product and you'll do 6-figure launches every single time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that applies for like even agencies and stuff, just going out there and knowing how to use like paid traffic to acquire
Yeah.
anything, like not even just clients, just how build an email list. And then you can go out there and we talked about this multiple times already, but you go out there and use that email list to acquire clients basically on demand. You have like a legit asset in your business rather than running around trying to get the next client, the next client, the next client. It's like, I've seen guys build waiting lists, right?
Yeah.
And the clients they just have a waiting list and just email the guys and hey, we're taking on one more client, and they get a client, and then it's like on demand rather than.
And when you learn this stuff also, you can actually just implement it as a service for clients too, you know?
Yeah.
If you get good at how making webinars, you can create a whole funnel for your clients. You know, people are doing that. Like digital marketer charges $20,000-$30,000 to build out a funnel for
Yeah,
for
makes
people.
sense.
Yeah, because it's something that they can benefit from. Like you can go and take email marketing and build out a funnel for your clients. You know, use their existing customers.
Yeah.
And build out a sequence for them and just double their revenue like that.
Yeah, it's awesome. So for us, we talk about funnel stuff because we're into the same sort of thing, and
Yeah.
we're doing these like super advanced funnels. Like this is going to happen this, and if that happens, then this is like really, really advanced. I imagine if you just start out, you just have like this like one product. Would you create any more products or just one initially?
Well, you start with one,
Okay.
and ideally you want to have an upsell
Okay.
because,
So there's two.
well, it's part of the same product. So you have
Okay.
a product,
Okay.
which is the core, and it includes most of what people need. But there's always going to be a percentage of people who want more from
Or
what,
even a different medium. It's not like you're withholding content, right?
right,
It's like
right. But just an extra step, right? Like,
Yeah.
for example, you have economy and you have economy plus, and then you have business class, right?
Yeah.
It's still in the same plane. It's going to
You're
get
still
you to
gonna
the
get
same
there,
place.
yeah, yeah.
But some people prefer, you know, to have the extra, whatever, the extra features or the extra training, maybe a bit of extra hand holding. So if
Yeah.
you've got an info product, you know, your upsell could be like a personal, like weekly coaching session or Skype sessions or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some people want that.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this funnel, would you keep it nice and simple initially? Because we're going like super advanced. And again, for me, I like to take action like now. I like to go out there and just make some money today, ultimately, like if I can, because that's just, like I don't see the point in wasting 6-12 months getting something right when I could just go out there and do
Right.
it today. So would you keep the funnel like really, really simple initially?
Yeah, I mean, ideally you just want an opt-in page, whatever that is. It might be an automated webinar where they opt in, you get the lead.
Yep.
With follow-ups, you give the value, you send them to the sales page and you get them in there. And then later you can be like, well, okay, these people clicked the link, but they didn't, or like retarget them and stuff
But you don't
like
do that like straight away.
No, well, you want to try and not waste your traffic. So,
Yeah.
for example, you do want to have your pixels set up
course.
and all that kind of stuff to make sure that you're just maximizing that. But yeah, for the rest, just keep it simple and start running traffic, and then based on the feedback that you're getting, tweak it, and then slowly build it up. But like we said, the most important thing is taking action. So
Yeah, you called me out recently on one of my sites and like not having a pixel installed. I think it was the Google YouTube one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thanks for that. That's actually useful because we did get it sorted. But actually, you're right. There's so many people, myself included, apparently on that one site that don't have remarketing pixels set up, and it's like the easiest way of making some extra like money, having some extra traffic on your site.
It takes you like 30 seconds.
Yeah, even if you don't run the ads, just having it set up and you build the audience up, right?
And even on YouTube, I don't know if you've got it set up on your channel, you can just set up it to automatically build a retargeting list of anyone who watches your videos, right? Anyone who visits your website, anyone who watches your videos.
Get ready for some ads, guys.
Right. So anyone aligns, yeah. So basically, you just build up this audience of people who've already interacted with you, so they already know your face. Maybe they've watched multiple videos, and they're more likely to buy your product, right? So that's a quick tip.
Yeah, absolutely. So would all that 200,000 go into just like setting this up and then running the ads?
I mean, you're not going to start off with 200,000 at once, of course, right? But if you have that amount of money, sure, you start running ads, and it gives you, if you're able to have your funnel be profitable, like sure, go and spend more and scale it up, and you have that cash flow.
In reality though, like you don't actually, even if you went that route, which isn't, like if you're struggling for cash, like you said, get clients, it's just easy, it's going to give you cash flow. But you don't have to spend, like you just said 200, I don't know why we made that number up, but it's an example, but you don't need to spend that much to start off like an information marketing business.
No, but we said that because you're like, you know, you have money in the bank. How do you, what would the best way be to use that, right?
But even if you had like 20,000, you could probably do the same approach.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, it's about 15 grand to set up a good product if you want to do that. And then you probably want 15 to 20 grand to put into ads if you want to do that. But I mean, again, you don't have to spend 15 grand to create a product. You can literally create a product for like $500 if you wanted to. You get a video camera, you take your iPhone camera, you know, and start shooting the product. And for the ads, like we said, if you have clients, let's say you're making an extra $2,000 per month from your clients, even if it takes you long, you can spend that $2,000 every single month on ads to try and grow.
So curious, you've had like thousands of students go through like your different courses and stuff like that, especially with like building up like a marketing agency or an SEO agency or something like that. Is there certain things you notice in the people that kind of drop off after 2 or 3 weeks versus the guys that succeed? And we kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'm curious if there's specific things with that type of product.
I think the people that succeed are initially from day one, they're taking action. They're active in the forum or the Facebook group.
But I see guys as well that do that, and then like 3 weeks later, they're just gone.
Yeah.
Putting you on the spot, like psychologically, why is this happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a consistency thing. At least if you're active in the forums and stuff, you're making an effort, you know, you go in there, you hold yourself accountable, or like a Facebook group and stuff, you're interacting with other people. I think that's a big thing, accountability.
I'd say also, I guess, like persistence, right? Like you need, like you get in the forums and you're sharing your progress and stuff, you're talking to people and you're taking action, but it's that understanding that, like, dude, you're 10 years in. Like, if you're doing this 10 years, and you're doing well, but like that's a long time. I've been doing this 8 years, like not SEO specifically, but doing this online marketing stuff for 8 years. Like it's easy to look at us and be like, oh wow, these guys are doing so well, and they've only been publicly well known for like a couple years or so. I was like, oh, it's like 2 years and they're like doing so well. Like it's easy to get caught up in the trap of thinking you can just get started today and like next month you're gonna be like traveling to Thailand and living there. Not like Thailand's that expensive anyway, but I think a lot of people get this like trapped in thinking they're going to get as fast rather than having the persistence.
The magic bullet kind of overnight success thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, consistency is the main thing, I guess, and just don't have like a results-based kind of thing, and don't focus on money as a goal. I think that's a very important thing. So don't be like, I want to make 5 grand a month or 10 grand a month. Rather focus on, I want to learn these skills, I want to master these skills, and I want to, you know, build a successful agency. I want to land clients. I want to help businesses. If you have that mindset, like the money will come. But if you're like, oh, I just want to make 10 grand a month, you're going to struggle.
I was kind of both though. I was kind of like, yeah, I want to make 10 grand a month, but I also want to build an agency. I also want to help people out and stuff.
Or if you have like, I want to get 10 grand a month, you have to think like, how do I get there? What steps are needed for me to get to 10 grand a month? And you have to be realistic. You can't just be like, I'm going to make 10 grand a month. You know, you have to be like, okay, maybe I need 10 clients at $1,000 per month, and to get 10 clients, if I have a conversion rate of 1%, it means, you know, I need to go and like reach 1,000 people, I have 1,000 prospects to be able to get those 10 clients. So
yeah, my presentation at the conference, right? Like I broke down the numbers because most people don't do it. Like no matter how much you want to make, right? Like if you want to make it $1 million, you need to know how to actually get there. You can't just say, yeah, I just want to make $1 million. It's just some arbitrary goal that means nothing unless you actually break down exactly how exactly you get to that level.
Yeah, and the more you break it down, the more easy it seems, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's way easier to say, okay, I just need to contact like 10 businesses every single day rather than I need to make $1 million.
Yeah. And you just go out there and just do whatever, like probably more than actually you think is needed, but you plan out the numbers. Here's how I get to 10K. I have to get 10 clients for $1,000 a month. And to get 10 clients, I have to send 12 emails a day. Where my presentation is like, but then just go send 120 a day. I just go crazy with that.
Then Grant Cardone's 10X thing comes into play, right? So if you know you need to talk to 10, rather go and talk to 100.
Yeah.
And that way, even if you only talk to 10, you still reach your original goal. So.
Absolutely. Is there any differences in how you think today, or I know there is, but is there any you can think of, how you think today to how you thought even say 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say the biggest thing is just thinking of things like a business for a long-term thing. So I've always gone from like project to project and like built something up and then sold it and started from the bottom again. Instead of having something that you can build and work on for multiple years, you know, and then, you know, sell for a large exit. And actually, if you look at pretty much any successful people, they've just worked on something for multiple years.
It's long-term thinking, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you were just trying to like, gonna make money from this and then focusing a little bit too much on the money, I guess, like in the short term.
Right, and you kind of get bored and you start over. But like, the problem with that is that you're actually working backwards, you know. It's going to take you much longer doing that, starting from scratch. Because the hardest part is getting the momentum, right?
Yeah.
Like, look how long it took you to build up Lion Zeal. But now that you have it, like your momentum, you grow so much quicker. Yeah,
exactly. Like, if we double in size when we have 10 people in the group, then you get 20 people.
Right.
Like, it's enough for we double in size, we have 15,000, there's 30,000 people in the group. Like, it snowballs, I guess.
Yeah, so if you were to sell it and you'd have to start from scratch, you'd need, again, those first 2-3 years to build it up, which is just a huge waste of time and effort.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's hard though, right? Because sometimes you're like, you just want to change direction. Like, it's like not, I don't know, you feel like you're not quite working on the right thing. How do you know if you should just like scale this one thing or if you should like change? Because you've done a lot of like switching from one thing to the next.
Yeah. I think it also comes down to like what we talked about earlier, is you have to have an interest in it. Like, you have to see, like, is this something that I would enjoy working on for the next 5 years, right?
I think you should actually do that from like day one.
Right.
Like,
but a lot of people don't.
No, you don't.
You start out and you're just looking for a way to make money.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to start building affiliate sites, but maybe you don't enjoy doing that at all, right? Or maybe you start doing e-commerce, but you feel like you're not adding value to the world. So like, are you really going to just keep doing that?
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where maybe you start making money with it and it's cool, but then you run out of that motivation to keep doing it because you don't really care about it, right?
Yeah, there's a guy, I spoke to a friend of mine actually, and he's got a couple of clients and doesn't like dealing with clients, but then he needs cash and he's really struggling, he's earning barely any money. And he's like, I want to go out there and build an agency, I want to get it to 10K a month. And then when we actually chatted with him and broke down what he was doing, he realized that he has zero interest in running an agency. His plan was basically get it to 10K a month, stop dealing with clients completely after a while, put it all into affiliate and go into something else. Like, and don't build a client agency. Like, what's the point in spending the next year or 2 years or whatever building up this business that means nothing to you just to get some cash?
Yeah.
And it's harder to make that decision, I guess, when you're starting out and you're struggling.
Of course, because you want to do stuff just to make money.
Yeah.
But if you can and you do it right from the start, it's better. So the long-term thinking is definitely important. And also it gives you the chance to really get big and to be able to build something that you can sell, you know, in the future. You don't want to just do something and it's going to stop in 5-6 months from now and you have to start again, or in a year, and keep doing that, you know. There's a lot of people doing that, like, for example, even in the info product space, on like Warrior Forum and JVZoo and stuff, where they just continuously have to launch stuff just to be able to make money, and that's terrible.
Just launch. So I'd say one thing actually I noticed, like, we've known each other for a couple years or so now, I'm gonna guess. And like, one notable difference to me is that for both of us actually, when we started talking, our perspective of money was significantly lower than it is today, right? And I think that actually changes. I think that's a good thing, because if you're in this scarcity mindset where you're like, $1,000 or $10,000 a month is a lot of money, it's significantly harder for you to make $10,000.
Right.
Like significantly harder, because like to you in your head, there's a lot of money. To us now, like $10,000, like obviously that can change someone's life, but it's not that much money in our perspective to the world we're in today.
And you have to see the ROI that you get from it, and stop seeing it as an absolute amount, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being like, oh, this course costs $1,000, that's so much money.
Yeah.
But if $1,000 can get you making a 6-figure a year business, it's the cheapest thing you can buy. Or compare it to, you know, like going to college or whatever. Like, but then people will go out and party and spend $1,000 in a month just on alcohol and stuff, you know. And it's just the priorities,
Yeah, a lot of people have bad priorities there. I forgot where I was going with that point. Oh, but yeah, it's just that one of the things, and I'm not sure how you do it really, aside from like, how did our perspective change? Like, I guess we earned more money, and also, I think more so than anything else, like we go to events like this, like in Chiang Mai, and going out there and meeting more people and seeing, like when you're in a room full of people and you think like you're doing really well, then you meet some other guy and he's got like a multiple, like tens of millions of dollars a year company or something like that. It's like, okay, I'm not doing so.
There's always different levels, right?
Yeah.
And I guess just as you start building your business, and there's expenses and more, and you start to realize like, okay, if you spend money, you can save your time and you can focus on other things. Like for example, with the info products, like if I outsource my web design, sure, it's going to cost me $2,000, but I could never do it as good as the guy. And secondly, it would save me hours, right? Or the same with the copywriting and stuff like that. And then you get to a stage where you kind of look for the ROI, like I said, and stop looking at it as an absolute amount and see what do you get back for it.
That's actually a big shift in mindset. I think I've gone through, and I think a lot of other guys, you would notice how we think to a lot of other people is that like a business owner. So you said like a course. Like I see a course for $1,000, $500. I'm just like, cool, that looks like it's gonna help us out. I'll just buy it. Like within like a second. It's not like should I go spend $500 on this? Granted, like $500 is not gonna change anything to me anymore. But I'll just go buy the course because I know it's gonna add value. And I'm thinking in terms of, like you said, ROI. Like some people, like clients and stuff, they'll be like, I'm not sure about spending like $2,000 or $3,000 on ads. When I'm like, dude, I want to spend like $50,000, $100,000 in ads because I know if I can spend that, I'm going to make far more than that back, which is like an investor business mindset versus the whole scarcity. I guess it's like scarcity versus abundance if you simplify it down to that. And I think that's one massive shift that you see in how we think and how guys that are doing even better than us think versus a lot of people that starting out, they're like I don't really want to spend like $100 a month on an SEO tool. It's like, it's $100 a month for a tool that you need to run your business.
Right, because it brings you so much more in return. So,
I think that's also like a big important thing. I'm curious, what do you think, and again, it's like putting you on the spot, what do you think like big mistakes are? Like maybe 2, maybe 3, we'll make it 3, like big mistakes you've made in your business so far.
I think the biggest one would be shiny object syndrome, which everyone has, where you know, you start out in the beginning and you try something and then you see someone else doing something where the grass looks greener and then you're like, okay, maybe I should try that.
That's the downside of getting that perspective of seeing other people,
Right, and then by moving around, and again, like you start over so many times from scratch, but you never really get anywhere. And so that's a big problem. I had that, I still have it every day.
All
where
of
you
us
see
have
these
it,
opportunities. And you get to a point, you just have to say no to like 90% of things and just focus on that one thing and stick with it. If you know it's proven, you know it works, if you see other people doing it, like you can stick to that one thing and make it work.
Absolutely.
Another big mistake is probably not reinvesting and being as aggressive as I could possibly when something goes well.
Hugo Boss tops instead of some ads.
No, but I mean like not taking advantage of something, of the momentum when it's going well, right?
Okay.
Like we had a link business and it was going really well. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm making all this money. Just sit back and just watch series and stuff. And instead of being like, okay, well, if I take all this money and I take 1 month's worth of that money and put it back into ads, maybe I could triple the business, right? Because you have that momentum and things are going well. And you probably know with every type of business, there'll always be things that work well for a while, but it doesn't always go well.
No, it never does.
So if you're in that position where things are going well, take full advantage of it and try and be as aggressive as possible.
And it's also, it doesn't last, that little opportunity where it's going so well. It doesn't just stay there forever. Like, you gotta notice the opportunity and then double down on it right now while it's working so well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that I learned, where I left a lot of money on the table there.
Number 3, go on, Mom.
Number 3, upsells, I guess. For Marketing Inc.,
Yeah,
we never had upsell. We still actually don't have an upsell. I need to create one. And if you know that between 20 and 30 people take the upsell, you know, if you do $100,000 in sales, you're missing out on $20,000 to $30,000 by not having an upsell. Really, just by that. And
that again applies to every business.
Right.
So have clients upselling something, even just more SEO. I think a lot of guys will get a client for say $1,000, $2,000 a month, and they don't realize they can upsell that client on $3,000 a month or $4,000 a month later to do more keywords or more services.
And maybe not everyone's going to take you up on that, but maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 5, even 1 in 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool, man. Is there any final thoughts for someone that would like watch through this whole way that you could think of adding?
Take action. Like we said, like really, that's the biggest thing. Like maybe you watch this and like.
Is there advice for taking action then? Because it's like we always say it, and 100% like take action, obviously. Is there advice for how to take the action that's going to help them?
There's no easy way. You just got to do it, right? Like if you know you need to go to the gym and you know you need to go and train, there's no easy way to do it. You just have to go to the gym and pick up the weights, right? It's the same with this. You just have to go and build the website or phone the clients or whatever it is. And like initially it's difficult to get started, but as soon as you sit down and you get into it for 10, 15 minutes, you'll find it's easier to continue with it. And you just got to make it a habit. That's actually a good point, yeah. Like make the time and just force yourself to just sit there. And also like you can do like productivity stuff, but that's not going to get you there, right? Like I block sites and stuff sometimes when I'm doing like certain sessions. I do like a Pomodoro, is how you say it? Yeah, 25. I do like them sort of sessions, but that's not going to force you to do anything. You still have to make the decision. But just ultimately just making yourself just sit there and blocking everything if you have to, and just making, okay, this is my 25-minute work session right now. Right, and I'd say it's just also the consistency. So even just getting started, maybe just commit to the next 90 days. Okay, that's 3 months. Anyone can do that. Next 90 days, just every day take action a little bit and take it day by day. Actually, I'd say like forming habits, like a lot of people that buy our courses, and the way they do things is their action is like this, it's like right up and there's drop, right? Yeah. Like loads of action and bam, like you quit and it doesn't work out. Whereas if anything, it's probably better to slowly ease into it. It's like, I'm just gonna send 10 emails a day now. And then it's like, okay, now I'll send 50 and now I'll send 20 and slowly build it up over time and not like forcing themselves to like, I'm gonna send 100 a day because they're gonna burn themselves out in like a week and quit. Yeah. It's like a marathon, right? Really, like if you go and exert all your energy in the first like mile or kilometer or whatever, then you know it's gonna stop. So you have to be able to pace yourself to stay motivated and have the energy to keep going. And, absolutely, man. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think we have much else to think so. I mean, I hope we gave some good value here, got some good tips for people. Yeah, man. So again, thanks for joining me. Awesome. Thanks for having me. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode.